So hello guys, welcome to JavaisAwesome, and in this video we are going to talk about Enum, and I hope you are very excited to know about the Enum. And Enum is really very important concept in the Java. I have a more than 3 year experience as a Java developer, and I know what is the value and what is the potentials of the Enum and annotations. Without enum and annotation, you can't write a one single line of the code in Java real project. Okay, so annotation is too much required. Enum is also very required, because in lots of the cases, lots of the places, the enum will resolve our issue in the very simple way. Okay, so how it will work and what is the behavior of it, you just have to aware about it. The software architect team will handle it, like how we have to define the enum and how we have to use exactly. Okay, so those team will do, but in the simple level or some of the simple requirement you can do your own, no issue. Okay, let's go and understand what is the enum inside this. Okay, so first of all we have to understand what is the enum. For example, I am new in the Java, and just now I remember, like, okay, I just get it the point. Okay, enum is also a topic in Java. What is the enum? Okay, let's see. So in Java, enum is a special data type. Yes, for example, you have a class, you have an interface, you have an abstract. In the same way, you can create a enum also. That is possible. Okay, so enum is also a type, one of the data type that allow developer to define a set of named constant. But basically in the real-time project we are creating one separate classes for storing all those constant value. But apart from that, some of the logical constant, some of the behavior constant, if you want to store, you have to take the help of the enum. Okay, it is a short for enumerated types, and enum types can be thought of in collections of the related constant, like days of the week or colors, like the data you can store. The data will be limited and specific. For example, list of the weekdays, list of the month, list of the year. Those things you can list it down inside the enum, and you can provide the operations on that. To create a enum type in Java, you define a new classes with the name called enum keyword. For example, to create a enum for a day of the week, you should write enum. Okay, and this is the class name, or you can say enum name, day, curly braces open and close. Inside this you can write whatever that is the enum constant. And one more things I will told you, whatever the inside this enum you are going to write, it should be a capital letter. Always you should define the letter which is in the capital. Okay, let me do one practice for that. Okay, so I'm going to create one project. So let's go to the file. Let me create file, new project, and make sure it's a Java project. Okay, so here I will click on the Java. Next, just give the project name, which is Enum project. Created. My system is little bit slow, so that's why it's taking some time to create a project also. Okay, maybe your system will not take that much time. Okay, if you see here, project is created, which is enum project. You can see here, but still it's showing here in progress. Let it be. Okay, so let's open the enum project. Let's open the enum project. You can see inside the enum having a by default one classes. Let me delete it. Right click on the class and you can delete it. Oh my god, it's too slow. Let me create one enum class now. Otherwise, let me create the test class, and inside the test class we can test the enum also. So let me create test, and here I will give the name called com.app. Okay, so this is the test class. You can see it's created. Let it be open here. Okay, so if you want to create a enum, what you can write here, you have to write first enum. So enum is a one keyword in Java, and you want to create a enum for that day, right? So curly braces open and close. You can see there is no issue. Okay, you can specify enum as a public or private, whatever you want. Okay, you can specify it also. In this class only one class should be public, so it's giving the error here. Now inside the enum classes, whatever you created, what you have to do is, whatever you give the name, it should be in capital letter. For example, Monday, 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 separated with comma, Tuesday. Okay, like that you have to specify. You can specify in the same line or next line also, no issue. Okay, and while reading this data, how you can read? With the help of the enum name, you can read only. So if you want to write your main method, you can write it. Okay, and inside this class, what you have to do is, you have to write s out. Okay, and first you have to give the day with the day name, which is enum type. So day dot, what you want? Monday. So you can print it Monday. What is printed? Monday. Okay, so like that you can use. Here you can give the type also, data also, whatever the parameter constructor you want to give, you can give for the each and every enum, and you can do the work with that. Okay, so this is the basic introductions of the enum I have shown you. You can write all those and you can print it one by one also. Okay, for example, if you want to give all those, so what you can do is, here you can write Tuesday separated with comma, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You can write Saturday, you can write Sunday, like that. Let me format it. So it should be in the one line or maybe the multiple line you can break. Okay, and you can write like that. Okay, that should be a possible, no issue. But make sure each and every will be separated with comma. Okay, so this is the enum. And if you want to print all those values with the help of the loop, you can print it, no issue. Okay, how you can do it? Let me maximize it. How you can do it? Simply you can write here one for loop. Okay, for each loop. Okay, and here you can specify, okay, inside this having a some enum, okay, which is day type. So you can write day dot values. So it will return all your days array, and you can print those days one by one. Okay, like that. S out D. If I print here, you can see the output. What is the output? Output is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In the sequence, it's printed. Okay, so like that you can work with the enum. So basically, you have a set of the bunch of the some particular key or value. Based on that, you can use the enum. Okay, I hope you understood how to create enum and how to do the work with that. Let's see some rules and guidelines regarding the enum. So Java enum internally inherits the enum classes. So it cannot inherit any other classes, but it can be implement many interfaces. We can define fields, constructor, methods and main methods in Java Enum also. So in the Enum classes you can define the main method also, you can write a constructor also, normal method also, everything is possible. The Java Enum contains a static and final implicitly. So even if you not give the constant whatever that we have defined as of now, if those are not a static also, it will take as a static and final implicitly. Okay, so if you see here, those we have not given anything, so it will be a statics and final by default it will take its same. Okay, so like that you also can give, so by default it will take, so you don't want to give it. Since JDK 1.5 it's available since JDK 1.5, so Enum is available since JDK 1.5. Java Enum internally inherit the Enum classes, so it cannot be inherit any other classes. Okay, but it can implement many interface. We can have a field, constructor, methods and main methods in the Java Enum. Okay, these are the important points about the Enum. So Enum improve type safety. Enum can be easily used in the switch. Enum can be traversed. Enum can have a field, constructor and method. Enum may implement interface but cannot extend any classes because it's internally extend the Enum classes. Okay, let's see here and create one more class. Okay, for example, I'm going to create one more class and I will give the name called test Enum. Okay, and inside the test Enum only, so I will not going to write this as a class, I will write as a Enum. Okay, and inside this I'm going to create some of the values, so I don't want to use this one. Okay, so those are the Enum we know. Okay, but I want to create one method for me, so public statics void data, and inside this method I want to print, let me give the semicolon here, let me print here s out my Enum method. Let me create the main method also. Okay, and let me create the constructor for that also, test Enum. So we are able to create a constructor also, you can see here. Okay, constructor of Enum. So through that you can understood, okay, how we can create and what you can create inside this or not. Okay, here I'm going to create an object of the Enum test, Enum. Okay, Enum test Enum. Okay, so test Enum t equal to new test Enum. Okay, so it's showing like we can't create an object for that. Okay, we can't create object for that. We can't create object for that Enum. Any Enum you can create object for that, you can't create it. Okay, what you have to do is, now I have to call those Enum. Okay, so how can I call those Enum and how can I print those Enum also? So let me call this a static method which is data. So test Enum. Okay, dot data method I have, so I am able to call it. Let me run this code and show you. Okay, so we are able to see here it's created 4 times, 5 times constructor first, 1 2 3 4 5 6 if you see here. Okay, and then after my Enum, if you write here only 1 times. Okay, constructor call will be only 1 times. So whatever the value you have specified inside the Enum, Based on that, it will call the constructor and it will initialize it. Okay, so if you specify 15 variable or 16 variable, the constructor will be print and call 15 types. Okay, and method will call only one times, and you can call the enum classes with the main methods also. And if you want to print all those data of the enum, you can, we have already saw, with the help of the loop you can iterate and you can print it, no issue. Okay guys, so I hope you understood what is the enum and how we can do work with it. It's a type safety also, you can use it. Okay, and enum can implement many interface but cannot extend any classes because it's internally use the enum classes. Understood? This is the example, you can see class enum example 1, define the enum inside the classes. So this is the enum we have defined, which is season, winter, spring, summer or fall. Main method you can create and you can print all those data here while traversing. So every enum having a one method called values. Values will give all those data inside this particular enum. Okay, what is the annotations in Java? So enum is a one part and annotation is other part. So annotation is also very popular and very important. A Java annotation is a tag that represent the metadata. Okay, so if anybody can ask you what is the annotation, so annotation is a tag that represent the metadata of our application, attached with the classes, interface, method or field to indicate some additional information which can be used by the Java compiler and JVM. That is the power of annotation, you can see. The annotations in Java are used to provide additional information, right? So it is an alternative option for the XML and Java marker interface also. First, I hope you know the marker interface. Marker interface, the interface which does not have any body or any inside this any nothing. Okay, just class open and close. That is the marker interface. Interface, marker, open and close. That is called a marker interface. The interface does not have any body. First, we will learn some inbuilt annotations. Then we can move to the creating using a custom annotation. So it means that already having existing annotations in Java also, and you can create your own annotations in Java also if it is required. If you see here, annotations parent class is annotations, java.ling.annotations package, it's available. And a standard built-in annotation, it means you can see here, these are the general purpose annotations. It's available in java.ling package. I hope you know about @override, @deprecated. So override, it means we are using while extending a classes, okay, parent classes and child classes. And if you are overriding a methods, you can use the @override annotations. If the deprecated generally the peoples who are developing some of the method and the previous method is not required, then we can say the previous method is deprecated and you can use the new method. So deprecated will use when the method or particular classes will not required. It's going to remove in the future. Safe var args you can use in the multi-threads. Suppressing warnings, it will give a function interface while creating a function interface. Okay, so these are the general purpose annotations you can see, and this is the meta annotations. Okay, so this is the inherited, documented, target, retention, repeatable. So those are also very important annotations, you have to aware about it. Okay, so whatever things we will start with the @ those are the annotations. Okay, you can create your own annotations also, that is possible. Okay, so let's see types of the annotations in Java. We are going to create 3 custom annotations with the goal of the serializing an object into a JSON string, that is class level annotation, field level annotations, method level annotation. So generally people are using the annotations in the 3 places, maybe the above the class, maybe the above the field or variables, and maybe in the method also we can use. So those are the part of the annotations. Okay, if you see here, this is the class level annotations, you can create your own. Okay, the first step is to create a custom annotation is to declare it using the @interface keyword. Okay, and then after open curly braces and close curly braces you can define. So if you see, this is the example of creating a annotations. The next step is to specify the scope and target of the custom annotations. So if you see here clearly, we have mentioned here like public @interface, and whatever the annotations name you want to keep here, you can keep. So public @interface, and here class, whatever the annotations name you have to give, you can give here, open curly braces, close. Inside this you can give what are the parameters it will accept, what are the data it will accept, those things you can specify. But in the top of the annotations you can write at the rate target and type, at the rate retention and runtime. Okay, so you have to use this particular annotations at runtime. If you use here compile time, it will work in the compile time only. If you use here runtime, it will work at runtime. And the type is element type, which is we can use it in type place. Okay, this is the field label annotations. Using a same fashion, we can create a second annotations to mark the field that we are going to include in the target JSON in the same way. GFG element, okay, public string key, give the default value, and same thing, retention and target, which is runtime and field label, because we are creating a annotations for the field. These are the method label, and you can understood. I hope you understood what is the use of annotations, what is the use of enum, and the particularly enum and annotations are really important. Okay, so you can go with that, and I hope you understood basically what is the enum and what is the annotations we can create. Okay guys, thank you so much.